Welcome to the AV-42C Navigation and GPS tutorial. We will cover the nav and GPS screens that can be used on any one of the three MFCDs. Upon opening the nav screen, we can see our aircraft in the center represented by the yellow triangle, surrounded by several function buttons, such as the move up, move down, move left, and move right, as well as the zoom in and zoom out buttons. We can always center the map on the aircraft at any time by pressing the reset button. By default, the map's orientation is based on where the nose of the aircraft is heading, but we can change the map to be north and south orientated by pressing the mode button. By pressing the Sensor of Interest button, we can slew the map around using the thumb on the flight stick. Notice the red hostile and blue friendly icons on the map. It is also worth noting that hostile units will be angular shapes, while friendly units will be rounded shapes. This also applies to targets highlighted on the HUD. On the left side function buttons, pressing the OBJ button will set the waypoint to the current objective. Pressing the Return to Base button will set the waypoint to the airbase, which we can see right here. Pressing the Fuel button will set the waypoint to the aerial refueling tanker, shown here. We can clear the waypoint at any time by pressing the Clear Waypoint button on the front dash. Pressing the GPS button will bring us to the GPS screen, where we can see custom targets, and pressing the Map button takes us back to the Nav screen. We can also open the GPS screen on another MFCD. On the bottom left of the nav screen, we can see the altitude of the cursor, which is currently at 0 for sea level. We can modify the altitude of our cursor for placing custom targets using the Alt Down and Alt Up buttons. For this demonstration, I will set the cursor altitude at 2,500 meters above sea level. We can place custom targets on the map by pressing the GPS Send button. Notice how the target now shows up on the HUD here and on the GPS screen right here. We can place several targets which will all be listed on the GPS screen. Using the solid arrows on the right side of the GPS screen, we can switch between targets. Notice how the selected target is highlighted on the nav screen. We can delete the selected target by pressing the Delete Target button. We can start a new group of targets by pressing the New Group button. Note that only the highlighted group will show up on the nav screen. Just like with the targets, we can select different groups by using the solid arrows on the left side of the GPS screen. Pressing the Delete Group button will delete the highlighted group of targets. For this demonstration, I will set a few targets around the coastline of the island. Pressing the Path button will draw a line between the targets in the order that they are listed. We can see that the path cuts across land, which is not what I wanted. We can correct this by adding another target further out from the coast. Then we will scroll down on the GPS screen to select the new target and use the double arrows on the bottom right to change the target's order on the list. Also note that we can set the highlighted target as our current waypoint by pressing the Waypoint button. And now we can see the guidelines on the HUD directing us towards the waypoint. This can also be useful for autopiloting the aircraft, which we will cover in a separate tutorial. This concludes the AV-42C Navigation and GPS tutorial. Now you will have no excuse for getting lost while on patrol.